everybody asked me about brisket. And I have here a 15-pound USDA Choice Angus brisket. And one of the big things with brisket is picking out the right brisket. And so I'm going to show you how I look for the right kind of brisket, and then how I trim it. A brisket is 2 muscles, so you've got your flat that's up here, and then on the back is, which you can't see because it's covered in fat, is the decal or the point, and that's where you get the burnt ends from that you cut up in cubes. But we'll show you how you trim that. It's separated by a layer of fat that runs in between here. We'll trim all that up. On this one, how I pick out my briskets is I look for this side of the meat on the flat, and I come in and I'm looking for a lot of marbling in here. So you can see right here you've got good strands of the marbling running through it, and that tells me I've got a pretty good piece of meat. If it's just all red and you don't see a whole lot of that, chances are it'll be easy to dry out. It won't be as tender, won't have as much flavor, and so you can end up with not a very good brisket. So like the higher grade you get, the more marbling that's in there, and that makes for better ones. So that's what I look for when I'm shopping for a brisket. Now, you can take the easy way and just go to get a Wagyu. Like when I do competitions, I get them at Snake River Farms, and you pay $140 for brisket, and they're awesome, and you don't have to worry about that part of it. But if you're just going to, or if you get a USDA Prime, same, those are usually pretty good. But if you're in the choice realm, which I'm in Georgia, getting Prime or anything like that, it's hard to get. This is what I do. I go through and just look for them. If I see one that's really good, I pick it up. So anyway, we're gonna get to trimming this up, and then we'll season it, rub it, throw it on the smoker. All right, there's a lot of fat on a brisket that needs to come off, and we're gonna take off most of it. So on the top of this flat, all of this little loose stuff, we'll get most of this off. Try not to get too much of the meat. These huge chunks in here, this is all gonna come off, and then on the back, I'm gonna flip this. We're gonna get a lot of this off, especially on the point. Over on the flat, we'll leave a little bit on this bottom side, but for most of that we'll get, and you'll see when we trim this off where the meat changes as the two things come together. So we'll start trimming this up, and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so you can see for the back side, we get most of this off. Just kind of clean that up a little bit, and then this one comes all the way down, but this is the point of the meat, and it comes down, and then right here it transitions, and then this is the flat. So we're going to leave some of this fat on here, but we're going to clean most of that off. But there will be a separation of this muscle, and this fat will run all the way through it. This vein will run all the way through, and that's what separates these two pieces of meat. So you've got your flat down here, and this is your point. So there's the flat, and it comes all the way across here. So now we're going to trim this up, and you'll see on this side where it kind of separates it. Some people separate both of the pieces of meat. I've never had any luck doing that. I kind of keep them together, but I do trim it up inside there a little bit so I can get seasoning and rub all over it, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is basically trimmed up. If you notice, I basically have 2 muscles here, right? So this is a flat point, as I said. The grain on this runs this way, so when it gets cooked and we cut it, we're gonna cut it along here to get our nice little slices. If you're doing a competition, you'll size this to the box so that you'll probably get the slices for your competition right in here, and you want those to, like, you'll trim these up so you have nice clean edges so it looks good. This is a good thick flat, so that would be good for slices. This is your point, and you're going to cut this into cubes. You notice the grain just runs straight along this way. So this will get cut like this and then cubed up. And just, this is full of fat and that breaks down, but it's got to be really high heat. That's why we cook these for so long. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the rub together. We're going to inject this and we'll get it seasoned up and then we'll put it on the smoker. All right, here we are. Again, we got, like I said, here's our flat, and then this is our point. We want to make sure we really get the flat injected. The point, we'll get some in there, but that's not our priority. So I've just got a simple injector. Here's our coffee mixed with the bouillon, and we're just gonna kind of go around like this. The veins run this way, so when you get close here, you'll see the stuff squirt out the sides, whatever, that's fine. You just want to get in there, and we'll just kind of go through about 1.5 inches, kind of in a grid pattern along here. Okay, so like I said, that's quick and easy. Just kind of go through, inject it, and then it's nice because it kind of coats the meat, and that's going to help our rub stick on there when we go to rub it. So we'll mix up the rub. The rub is very simple for beef. It's going to be 1 part pepper, coarse pepper, kosher salt, same amount, about 1 part kosher salt. We're going to do 1/2 part of smoked paprika, 1/2 part of garlic, and about 1/2 part of coffee. And that's about it. Mix this up. And rub it. Get a good coat. And that's basically it. That's brisket rubbed up. It's going to go in the grill off the pan. We'll put it on the grill just like this with the flat up. This part on the bottom that's got the little bit of the fat helps kind of protect it, but that's going to be up. We'll cook it for about 5 hours, then we'll wrap it. It takes about 7 to 9 hours to get done. We're going to cook it on 250, so we'll get this thing on the grill. Alright, just put it on the Traeger. We've got it set for 250. You can see I opened it up, put it on there, so it's climbing back up the temperature. And take a look. So just set it on there. Like I said, we've got the flat is up, and then this is going to be the point down here. See the fat that we kept on the bottom is just kind of protected from the heat underneath it. And like I said, that's going to cook for about 5 hours, and then we'll wrap it. Alright, it's been just over 5 hours, and you can see how that thing is coming along really nice. The burnings here, the flat here, and we're going to get this thing wrapped up and put it back on. Alright, it's been about 2.5 hours since we wrapped it. See our internal temperature 210, so that is done. And check, that's in the flat. Pull that in the point. Yeah, 210, so that's done. We're gonna pull this off and let it rest. All right, we wrapped it on the grill for about 2.5 hours. Pulled it off at 210, and then let's let it sit. It's been resting for about 45 minutes now. So we're gonna cut this bad boy open. You can see we got the 2 pieces. This is the flat now on top. Now we'll just kind of separate. And we're gonna cut this against the grain. want to see. So got that, and then it should just stretch apart. Pretty good. And then, so that will slice all the way down. And this is where we get the burnt ends. So if you're doing competitions, this edge right here is a real good spot to get it. And then just cut these into little cubes. Pieces. You guys want to come try it? Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good little brisket. Here, just grab your piece. Very good. Like it? Should we eat some more of it? There you go. That's brisket. Enjoy.